welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation on important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation and follow us wherever you get your audio podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch our video podcast. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family, hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode, it's the Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Aundrea. We're going to be dilly-daddling a little bit. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the election. But that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
I can't call it. You know, this show is airing.
Yes.
On election day.
Yes.
We're recording it a couple of days before, but it's airing on election day.
Yes.
This is important.
Yes.
We here now.
This is it. And I know y'all been tired of these emails, these text messages, the mailers, the people coming and knocking on your door. This is it. This is it. Showtime.
Well, the text messages is the reason why my phone isn't so dry. Be getting them texts. I was almost thinking about texting them back, being like, "Hey, now, what you need?
Up, y'all?
What's up, y'all?" I almost sent a good morning text and a good night text.
Listen, it makes me feel special when I wake up in the morning and I got about 15 text messages waiting for me. And I'm like, okay, let me scroll through. Y'all want some money? Get out and vote. Maybe volunteer. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
I ain't done.
Make me feel important.
I ain't done none of that. I ain't
you
volunteered.
Did vote?
No, I'm voting on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
I like to go in on the day. I don't. My polling place is never any problem. I walk in, walk out.
Yeah, it only took me about 5 minutes to vote. I voted early because my county, Fulton County, Georgia, can get a little crazy on election day. Historically, we've had long lines and long wait times, so that's why you see the record number of voters, early voters in Georgia. But yeah, you ain't done none of the things. Well, that's okay, because here's the thing. You have been combating mis and disinformation pretty much every day on your show. So don't worry about that.
You know what?
Don't worry about that. You're right. Getting out there and you're using your platform to give people the truth and the real, and hopefully shape some perspectives with your unsolicited perspectives. So you are getting out there and you're making a difference. Don't shortchange yourself.
Pat myself on the back because I am.
Yeah.
And also I'm doing the Lord's work outside of this flow because I'm talking to everybody that I can about facts. Now, in my own condescending, conceited way, so I turn off some people that don't want to hear it. You know, you've known me for a long time.
Yes.
And most of the time, I don't be wrong about stuff, just in general.
You're right.
Just
Correct.
in general.
Correct.
When somebody comes to me for advice, I'm genuinely right the majority of the time.
Yes.
And people that are close to me absolutely hate it. They're like, so what do you think about this? I know you got the answer anyway, and you're going to be right. I'm like, well, don't get mad at me because I got the right answer.
Listen, hey, you know, there's such a thing as a sore winner. And honestly, it's your tone. And I don't like to tone police people because typically problems with a person's tone is like, that's not their issue. Like, if you have a problem with my tone, that's your problem.
Right.
Like, I'm just telling you what I'm telling you, but it is your tone.
Yeah,
it's your tone. It's a little patronizing, but that's...
A little. It is very patronizing.
It's very patronizing, very condescending. That's your tone. It's your tone. It's not what you're saying. It's not the content. It's the delivery. So you should work on that.
I think in person, I get away with it so much because I do it. You know, my favorite emoji on these iPhones is that little smirk emoji because that's my face all through life. Like I always have that face. So
mine is the face palm.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. That's you.
Yeah.
So I always got this little sly smirk on my face,
right?
Where people are like, "Wait a minute, is he serious or is he joking?" So even when I say condescending and patronizing things, I say it with that face, and most people are just like, "Bruce, you're just such an asshole," and I'm like, "I'm not an asshole. I'm a jerk. There's a difference."
What's the difference.
Okay. So a jerk
Uh-huh.
picks on you and does things just to be funny. An asshole picks on you to be mean. I'm
Okay,
never.
so
I'm never malicious.
one is okay. So effectively, they're both saying the same thing. It's just one is being malicious and the other
Right.
is being funny only to themselves,
Well, hold on. Hold on.
which can also feel malicious.
Look, don't be trying to correct my logic. My
I
logic
was
is
trying to clarify so that I know for future reference, because to me, they seem remarkably similar
okay. Okay.
as
It's-
far as how the other person takes it.
all right. So take it like this. Take it like this.
Okay.
I don't ever take myself too seriously. So if everybody's joking and you joke on me and it's funny, I'm going to laugh and I'm going to like keep bringing it because that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't get offended by these type of things. So if I joke on you, you can joke back on me. Like that's just my life. But like
you rationalize this any way you see fit.
in
You
my
make-
head,
in your head, this makes sense.
in my mind, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
Just
ain't
like
nobody coming to see you, Otis. So
Y'all don't get that, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Temptations, Silent Night, in my mind, and Otis on one of the Temptations from the movie. Ain't nobody trying to see you, Otis. Like,
you don't have to
understand pop
explain it.
culture.
Either they got it or they got it.
Understand pop culture.
Right.
Understand black pop culture.
Understand that.
That's
If you know the difference between Regina Hall and Regina King, you got that joke.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Do people get those two women confused?
People who don't know black pop culture do.
Okay. Well, why would they get them confused?
They're both named Regina and they're both black women, and that's as far as they go. So,
right. But they don't
if
even
you
look
know-
similar.
No, not similar at all.
No.
And so, but if you know the difference between them two, then you got that joke, and we don't have to explain it.
I wonder who's finer. I might have to give it to King.
They're both
I mean, they're both fine.
outstandingly gorgeous women in their 50s that would honestly kill any age group competition. Like, because not only are they fine as hell and kept it tight, they rich and
That
famous.
too. That too.
So
Regina King is kind of like Alyssa Milano to me. Not in their similarities, the way they look, no. But in the fact that I've had crushes on them all my life, because my initial crushes were when they were kids as well. So Alyssa Milano on Who's the Boss and Regina King on 227, right?
Yeah.
So like I've had crushes on both of them. Also Punky Brewster. Punky Brewster, I had a crush on Punky.
you know who doesn't get enough love and really should? Marissa Tomei.
Because
For
she's
just being
aging
dope
well.
and being aging well, obviously, but just being dope since the 80s, like from season of a Different World.
Well, okay, 80, Different World came out in 88. So, okay, you're right.
Mhm.
Was she known before that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
All
know.
I know is as long as I've been conscious as a human being, so 1988, like I could watch TV and understand what's going on. I was 4 years old. I could get it.
Right.
And since Marissa Tomei just been around and been dope.
Yeah, that is true. Who else has been around and been dope for that long? I can't think
Exactly.
of yeah, Rudy. Because I had a crush on her for the longest time. And then she got on the TV show House of Pains after she finished college. So Rudy, Hillary from Fresh Prince.
Yes. Yeah. You're right.
You know,
There's a lot. Let me tell you, the 80s gave us some baddies, and they still baddies to this day.
They really are. All right. So how are your midterms coming?
Midterms, hey, the first one I did really well. The second one I haven't got my grade back, but when I handed it in, the professor gave me a thumbs up, and I said, "Sure," and he just laughed, and I walked out the room. And because he's old school, so it was a paper test. It wasn't like we could take it online at home with our books and notes and stuff. No, we had to sit in the class with a pen and pencil and actually he
Get to
printed
work.
out test papers.
Yes.
And he said, this is what he said.
Right.
Multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank.
Okay.
We're thinking, okay, that's doable.
Right.
There was more short answer on there than there should have been. Every single page of this booklet that we're filling out has some short answer questions on it. And you never know, like, okay, what's the criteria for the answer? He was like, you know the buzzwords, if you know the keywords, like, just put down everything that you know. I want to know what you know.
Right.
And so I'm just writing. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to get an answer right. I'm just like hoping enough that I can get some points. And I'm praying he curves it. Because there were just some things I just didn't know. And I didn't study them because I knew I didn't know them. And I'm like, by the time the exam comes around, I'm not going to, I didn't understand it in class. I didn't understand when I read about it. And what I'm talking about is relational algebra and calculus. That's what I'm talking about. And if anybody knows what that is, help me. Let me know. Help me. Point me to some literature or some YouTube videos that I could watch.
Help me, please.
Help me, please, because I didn't get it in class, and So I pick and choose what I study. I study the things I know I can master, and that the things that I knew made up about 70-80% of the test. So I feel like a solid B probably. If he curves it, a high B, low A.
Okay,
sure. Sure.
You know what though? You might score points for getting him to laugh.
Right.
Exit. Because that's how he's gonna remember you. As he's grading the test, he might be like, that was funny what she said.
Right. And this answer is also funny what she wrote. But she wrote something, half a point. That's my thing. That's what I'm hoping for. I wrote something.
Well, I mean, I'm trying.
You don't get no points off for getting the wrong answer. It's not the SAT.
Right, you're right.
So just put something. That's what he said. Hey, put something. You don't get points off for a wrong answer.
I remember being in college and being so flabbergasted by some certain questions that I just be like, got to leave this one blank because I can't even BS my way into trying to come up with an answer. Just I would go through and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna skip this one and come back to it.
That's my thing. I'll put a little mark next to the number and I'm gonna come back to that. Because maybe a later question will help trigger the answer to this current question. Right. And then by the time you get to the end of the test, you'd be like, nothing triggered that. So I just don't even know.
Oh man.
I don't know. Well, you gotta leave it blank.
You a smart cookie. So I don't think you should feel any type of way about it. You should feel confident about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be all right. Everything.
I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. I have a semester project. Every semester we have a project that's outside of our classes. It's just a project we have to complete. I've taken the reins on that. I can't help when I see disorganization to not be like, I'm gonna try to just take the reins on this one. So I always kind of end up putting myself, or the situation or circumstance puts me in a leadership role. So, because I'm like, this project due by the end of the month. Let's get the ball rolling on this, okay?
Let's get going on this.
Let's get going on this. So I don't even care if I'm annoying my my group, my partners and stuff. I don't care. We're gonna get this poster done. We're gonna get this project done. I don't care who helps, who does what. Have I done a lot of the preliminary work? Yes. I did. Done most of it. Did I delegate to them their tasks? And will I still do it in the back end to make sure it's yes. Because that's how I am. Because we're going to get a good grade on this poster.
And so a control freak is basically what you're describing.
Yes. In essence, if you look up control freak, it's my picture. Just, that's me. And I took the picture. It's a selfie. That's how big of a control freak I am.
how did we manage the three of us growing up in that household when all of us are kind of like control freaks?
Good question.
Like that just came to my mind because our brother is also a control freak. We're all very like, we all might clearly be on the spectrum because we like things a certain way.
It has to be that way, or I literally can't function. It's got to be the way that I see it in my head going, or I cannot function, period. And it is very hard for me to relinquish control of certain things. Even when I delegate tasks, I'm still kind of looking over, and I don't want to be the kind of person that micromanages. So I just kind of, I don't say nothing, but I'm watching.
So
I'm always watching.
I'm a manager, and I've been a manager of people, God, I guess for the last 25 years.
Long time,
for the last 25 years, whether it was in the restaurant business or in this fitness company. And I learned, hey, this is my expectation of what I assigned for you to do. I've given you, as you say, I'm very meticulous. I give them all the information, exactly what I want done, and then I leave them. But I don't. I leave them alone, but I watch.
I'm watching.
I'm watching from a distance.
I'm watching everything, and I'm judging every step.
I'm not judging every step.
Nope, because the only thing is I see the way I would do it. And so it's really like been a learning process for me to let go of that control and be like, the steps might not be the same steps that I would take, but as long as the result is the same, let it go. So that I'm trying to learn that. So even when I'm like, hey, you guys handle this part of the task, I'm letting them go. When we meet, I'm going to ask how's it going. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Have y'all tried this? Have y'all tried that? But other than that, even though literally makes my soul itch, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to try to let it go. And hopefully, what comes out is going to be something that we can submit to competitions and hopefully win some money.
Shoot, that's what it's supposed to be about. I want to touch on one last thing before we get into this election. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the election. That's the majority of the show, but I didn't want to lead off with it because there's just so much content. I want to give you all a little levity before we get to some serious stuff. I had to tell one of my clients, hey, you can't contact me no more.
Please start from the beginning. Go ahead.
All right. And she's probably hearing this. This is anything that I haven't told her to her face, so this is okay.
Okay.
She has been really neurotic recently, like very neurotic. And I don't like repeating myself over and over and over and over again. Like, I don't mind teaching. Like, if you want to learn some stuff, I'll teach you. But when I have to keep explaining to you over and over and over and over again, and you're questioning me all the time, I get a little annoyed. It doesn't take much to annoy me.
Nope, not at all.
It doesn't take much. I might not outwardly show that I'm annoyed.
It's on your face.
Yes.
And your body language.
Oh, maybe. But once again, because of that smirk.
Someone looking at you, you're not looking at you. As someone looking at you, let me be the first to say, nobody's told you this, it's in your body language and your face and your demeanor that you're annoyed. It's a look in your eye where I could tell a switch has flipped. And I'm like, Bruce is annoyed.
Wait a minute. All right, let me tell this story. And we're going to save this for the third segment because I want to hear stories of times you've seen that switch. And we're going to say that for the third segment because I think that might be funny. But so they've been really neurotic. And one thing that really bothers me, and I don't know why, but I hate when people text in sentences and it's a bunch of different texts. I like paragraphs. Just send me a whole paragraph. Let me read it.
Tell me what you want.
Yes.
Don't lead me into it.
Right.
This is a text. I'm expecting to glance at it,
Mhm.
get your entire message, and respond or not respond, depending on how I feel at that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she texts and I'll get 7 or 8 texts. They're all one lines. And I'm just like, I don't like my phone, but it's the reason why my phone is turned off.
Yeah.
It's on do not disturb all the time. She's been real neurotic lately. And I had to tell her, I was like, hey, you got to stop.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, what do you mean? I thought this is my chill. I was like, you're not chill. You're not being chill. You're being super neurotic. And that energy is coming towards me, which is making me anxious in my off time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, when we here and we working, cool, because it's a part of my job. But in my off time, like I can't have it. So you can't text me no more.
Yeah.
She was like, well, I can't text you at all. I was like, it has to do with strictly the sessions. Like if you got to change the time or something or change the date,
Right.
cool. But anything else, no. Well, what about funny memes? You got to take a break on that for a little while. I don't want to hear from you.
Because even that could be excessive.
Yeah. I was like, you got to take a little break from that. I see you 3 times a week anyway. All right. So I see you for 3 hours. I was like,
yeah, enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
And I was just like, look, we need a little break. We just need a little break from the outside stuff.
Yeah.
Don't hit me up no more.
Yeah.
She was like, you serious? I was like, I'm dead serious. I'm not playing no games. You are driving my anxiety through the roof. And I was like, I can't have that.
And I see what I love about relationships with people now, just anything, working relationship, friend relationship, things like that. People understand the idea of boundaries and capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Like one, okay, this is, I on my off time, I like to chill, relax. I don't want this extra energy, affecting my off time. I don't have capacity for it.
Yes.
People will understand because everybody has had those times in their life where people are coming to them and things are happening in their personal life, their professional life, and everything's, and you're just like, I don't have capacity for all of this. Some things have to drop off. And if you happen to be one of them things for this little bit of time, that I can kind of catch my breath, then that's the way that it has to be. Please don't take it personally. It's about what I have the space for.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't have the space right now.
He respected it from the standpoint of when I said, hey, look, I suffer from generalized anxiety already that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. Just because I hide it well and you guys don't see it doesn't mean that I'm not constantly dealing with it. I know how to mask it. Yeah. Which healthy or not healthy, I don't know. But when I'm at work, when I'm at work,
to manage, not mask.
Well, when I'm at work,
my
job is to motivate others.
You're right.
So I have to bring that energy in. So I'm like, just because you don't think that I'm going through things, I may be going through something.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep professional when I'm here, but in my off time, I can't take that extra. Your neuroticism is creating more anxiety.
Right.
I'm feeling that energy that you're putting on me, and it's in my off times when I'm trying to come down.
Right.
And they completely understood it. They was like, I didn't realize it. I thought that I was being chill, and I was like, no, you're not. But they're also going through things, and their psychiatrists or therapists gave them some more medication because they just hit me up like, hey, medication, because I was in a meeting and I explained it to the counselor, and the counselor agreed, like, you are being a little neurotic right now. So I was like, okay, maybe I helped you see something that you didn't realize you were seeing, and this can help you. So that makes me feel good.
Yes.
But also, can contact you right now.
Yeah, because a lot of people misinterpret this as being an empath, but really what it is due to whatever factors, childhood trauma, whatever, and generalized anxiety, whatever it is, you have a heightened sense of other people's emotions, and you use that to survive, right? To navigate people. You can read the room very quickly. But not only that, you begin to internalize the feelings of others. And that can heighten your own anxiety, your own depression. So my friends are amazing. They'll ask first, do you have capacity for this? Because they know I got a lot of stuff going on professionally, personally, plus I have my own mental health issues. So they ask first before they unload. And I either tell them, yes, I have capacity for it, or no, I don't.
Mhm.
And they respect it either way because it's reciprocated.
Right.
I don't dump anything on anybody that doesn't have the capacity for it.
Yeah.
I don't vent to people or ask for advice when I know, when I've asked them and they're like, I can't take that on right now. That's completely fine. And I completely understand that. So that's just setting boundaries with people. And you can't take a person's boundary setting personally because it's going to apply across all areas of my life, not just with you.
Right. Exactly.
I set this boundary for everybody. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of neuroticism and setting boundaries, election next. All right, sis. So let's get to this election. We didn't get to tackle this last week because this rally actually took place after we filmed last week's episode. So we could not talk about Trump at Madison Square Garden, all the controversy that came after that. Now, there's so much controversy in the 7 days, because we're filming this a week from when that rally took place. And there's been so much happening in the last 7 days that people might have forgot.
Yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Hinchcliffe, yeah.
Yeah, the comedian.
That term is very loose.
Well, yeah.
He didn't even really get much of a laugh from the actual crowd, his target audience.
Well, there was not much, but there was still some laughter. Basically said that Puerto Rico is a floating island of garbage. And this got major, major pushback. This wasn't the only group of people that he attacked.
No.
He attacked Black people.
Yeah.
He attacked Jewish people. He attacked everybody.
Latinos in general.
Yeah. And I saw something, I wish I could remember who this comedian was, but I saw something online. And the comedian said, hey, look, comedians say shock and awe stuff, but it's masked in laughter. The goal is to make people laugh.
Right.
And to say, hey, I got away with that naughty thing because I made people laugh. At the end of the day, the jokes have to be funny, not malicious. And all he was doing was being malicious. But it wasn't the only thing. Other people called Hillary Clinton a sick son of a B word, referred to Vice President Kamala Harris as an antichrist, said Harris and her pimp handlers would destroy the country. They had J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, even Melania came out to speak. Never mind the fact that this is on the backdrop of being really reminiscent of a Nazi rally from 1939 that happened in Madison Square Garden. Okay.
Yeah.
You got Rudy Giuliani out here saying that the Palestinians were taught to kill us at the age of 2. No, they weren't.
No.
Like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. So it was a hate-filled rally, even though former President Donald Trump has gone on to say, I don't really know that comedian, don't really know him that well. I don't know. It was a love fest. Puerto Ricans love me. They love me.
The lack of any semblance of accountability. This rally had the word Trump all over it. He had been talking about this rally forever. It's his presidential run rally. It's his rally. So to act like he wasn't there, he doesn't know who was brought on, never heard of him, don't want to know him. It's your rally. You were there. These are your surrogates. Don't act like, and then he says something about, they're trying to take somebody who has nothing to do with the party, nothing to do with me. I don't know him. He was at your rally for your presidential run. He was vetted by your people who got his set ahead of time. He had apparently called Kamala Harris the C word, and they cut that out. So you saw his set. You saw what he was going to say. That part was a step too far, but not the other stuff. Now, I do think that comment about we carved watermelons with that black guy, we carved watermelons at Halloween. I do think that was an off-the-cuff remark because he just spotted someone in the audience. But the rest of the stuff, particularly the stuff about Latinos and immigrants and Puerto Rico, which is America, and I still don't think Trump understands that Puerto Rico is America.
I still don't think a lot of people understand that.
Yes.
Puerto Rico is America.
It's literally a part of the United States of America. I don't know.
Well, I do know.
If you can't get that basic geopolitical fact, I don't know what to say to you.
Well, it's not a state. It's not a state. It's still not really Americans. No, it's U.S. territory. They are American citizens.
You can come and go without a passport.
Yep.
They're able to, just like Hawaiians, if they want to immigrate to the mainland, just like Alaskans, who are also not part of the 48 contiguous states. You can come and go as you please. This is a part of them. This is America.
This is America. Yep.
You want to go to U.S. Virgin Islands? You can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Even though, again, that's another place that he was not aware was part of America, even though it says U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yes.
He says something one time about talking to the leader of the U.S. Virgin Islands. That's you. That was you. You were president at the time, so that would be you.
Yeah.
But okay, sure. But just the lack of accountability. Not that we haven't seen it before, but truly astounding. I mean, completely divorcing himself from anything that had to do with that rally, except for the fact that it was a rally. It was a love fest or whatever the hell he said. You can say that much about it. But as far as all the people that came out and the things they said, that has nothing to do with you. Even though they're standing on a podium that says Trump on it. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. And it was a love fest. It was a love fest of hate. They should do love hate.
Let me tell you something. They love it.
There was
definitely for brown people.
Yeah. There was a couple of things that he said. I just got to fact check. You know me. I can't fact check everything because the majority of the things that come out of his mouth are just lies. And also, it's really hard to pay attention to his weave / ramble.
Yes.
Because he never gets back to the point.
Never.
Gets back to the point. But Trump said Harris has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums, and mental institutions from around the world.
Because, again, he's confusing political asylum with an insane asylum. That is where he came up with the word asylum. Yes. We're talking about they're seeking asylum. He's like, they're from asylums, and nobody is I don't know if they're trying to correct him, but he's already got in his head that they're coming from asylums, or he just wants to keep that lie going because he's already said it, and so you might as well just double down on it. I don't know.
Well, he still is saying that they're eating the cats and the dogs.
Yeah.
Even though his people have been like, well, they're not.
Yeah, because he's already said it. And so in his mind, since I've already said it, it's the truth. And so this is the reports I'm getting. From whom? Because we've all debunked that quite some time ago. Early in the moment, it was debunked. So
he also said he would invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. He actually can't do that. He doesn't have the authority. And a lot of people are like, well, what does that even mean? Okay, so this particular act grants the president the authority to detain or deport non-citizens from enemy nations during times of war.
Yeah.
The president can target these individuals based solely on their country of birth or citizenship without the need for a hearing. This act has been invoked during World War I, World War II, the War of 1812. It's actually still in effect today, but it's, of course, subject to controversy due to the potential for abuse and violation of constitutional rights. So, first of all, reasons why he can't do this. We're not at war with any of the countries
Right.
that the migrants are coming from. So that's first and foremost.
Yeah.
Number two, you can't just do that.
Yeah.
You
Unilaterally.
can't just do that. I don't think the reason it doesn't take much. Like, I don't have a legal degree,
Correct.
but reading the act it's not a difficult read. It really isn't.
No.
And if you had any type of reading comprehension,
Politicians wrote it. It's not a difficult read.
it's not a difficult read. So he should be able to understand it. Maybe he just doesn't give a damn.
No, he heard the title, and he said the title of the act, alien enemies, that's gonna play.
Yeah.
So what? And he also knows his base doesn't care about what the actual act says, and the fact that he actually can't do this because we're not at war with Mexico or wherever he or any of these S-hole countries that he wants to do some mass deportation day one. First of all, you don't have the infrastructure for that. How are you going to start these mass deportations? He can't do it. The infrastructure is not going to be there on day one. It doesn't matter that all of this is lies. It doesn't matter that he didn't accomplish anything except corporate tax cuts during his first 4 years as president. So he knows that
he did do prison reform because, Kim Kardashian pushed for that. So he did. I will give him that. He did do that piece of legislation.
Yeah, because somebody came and flattered him, and he didn't know what he was signing.
He didn't know at all.
He doesn't read. His own cabinet,
Yeah.
all the people they know, he doesn't read. Even when they whittle the briefings down to just a few bullet points, he doesn't read.
Yeah, he doesn't even read the teleprompter. So
No.
Pete Davidson said one time, I was watching the video, he said one time when Trump came on SNL, like he wouldn't stick to the script. He would really ad-lib a lot.
Yeah.
And Pete Davidson was like, I don't know if he can read or he can't read well.
That's
because
during
the reads, when they're sitting at the table and they're doing the pre-reads, right? Most TV shows, he would just not read it right.
Yeah.
And Pete Davidson was like, yeah, I don't know if I think he can read, but just not well.
Yeah. Maybe he can sight read, but he doesn't know phonics. He couldn't sound out a letter, sound out a word.
There's a lot of people that can't do that. We're not gonna knock them. No.
We are. You should be able to sound out words. It's not your fault if you went to a school that taught sight reading.
If you went to a Montessori school in Illinois
I don't even know
in the
that
80s.
Yes. It has to be that specific because I don't want to say that about all Montessori schools. I don't know anything about that. But if perhaps you went to a particular school in the 80s in a particular region of Illinois that taught sight reading as opposed to phonics,
you might have trouble reading.
have trouble reading.
But even still, even though I'm not great at phonics, I can still read and comprehend pretty doggone well.
Yeah.
And if you give me a script, I can read it and understand what.
Yeah.
I'll say I also went to school as a history major, so that's all I did was read when I did read. So he also gave so many lies about Kamala. Said that she's going to end the Second Amendment and take away the guns. She's already talking about she got a Glock, so that's not going to happen.
She has said point blank, you come into my house, you're getting shot.
Right. Said that she is going to abolish the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That is false. Just straight up lies. And people really do be believing them because the only source of information that they get is either from him or not even Fox anymore. Like the other super extreme right-wing networks.
Like OAN and all of those. Yeah.
They're
getting all their information from Truth Social and that immigrant Elon Musk.
Oh, let's not even. I didn't even put this on the rundown, but I saw this yesterday. Brett Rathensberger the Secretary of State
In Georgia.
in your state, had to come out on all the major news networks yesterday and said a deep fake video of an Haitian immigrant in Fulton County had multiple IDs and had voted multiple times. And this was a fake video that was created by the Russians that is spreading on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And he's like, we've contacted X. We let them know this is fake. The Justice Department has let them know that this is fake. They're not taking it down at the speed of which they should be trying to take that down. And it's spreading like wildfire. And it's not true. You got Carrie Lake out here already talking about things in Arizona isn't right. You got poll workers being assaulted because you are not allowed to wear anything from any candidate when you are in there to vote.
Right. Correct.
You're not allowed to do it. So you got to take off your hat. You got to take off your shirt. That's just the rule. And guess what? There's only one group of people that are constantly causing problem at the polls due to this rule. Yeah. So, hey, look, y'all are listening to this and watching this, hopefully on the day that it airs, on Tuesday, election day. You might be busy that day. You might be busy, but you're going to listen and watch it eventually. And let me just tell you, it's going to be an S show. It's going to be an S show.
They're preemptively contesting the election result.
Already.
Which honestly fills me. I saw this on Instagram. Honestly makes me nauseously optimistic. Not cautiously optimistic, but nauseously optimistic, because I'm going to tell you, my phone, my television will be off Tuesday. I can't, again, this is something I don't have capacity for.
I'm taking Wednesday off.
Yeah. I just can't participate. I can't watch it. But they're already preemptively doing that because they're scared.
But
he's obviously scared. He should be. You cannot trust the current polling because a lot of these pollsters don't want to be wrong. So everything is just like, oh, it's all a dead heat. But I really don't feel like that's the case.
I mean, in certain states, look, if it wasn't true, then Kamala wouldn't be out there campaigning so hard in certain states repeatedly throughout the week.
Yeah, she's trying to reach, because I said this last show, anyone who sees her speak has a favorable opinion of her afterwards. So she's trying to get to as many people as possible. Just listen to me for not even just 2 minutes. Just listen to me for 2 minutes. And you will have a favorable opinion of me afterwards. And it might, entice you to go and vote for me. So like that I get, but she had less than 100 days to campaign for president of the United States.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, less than 100 days to do it. And to get her face out there and to get people to see who she is, what she's about, how she'll be different from the Biden administration, how she'll be her own person and her own president and a president for all the people. So that I get that late push that she's doing.
What are some of the things over the last week outside of this Trump rally? JD Vance was on Joe Rogan, and
for what?
I don't. Well, they're trying to reach that audience because it got like 85 million views on YouTube, or the podcast had 85 million streams. So they reached a lot of people when he did the interview with Trump. So JD Vance went on there. And of course they're attacking Kamala because she didn't go there. But his thing was, she said she would do an interview, but I mean, she's campaigning. You got to come to her. Yeah. It's going to be an hour. And he was like, well, no, because I do it here. And, I want 3 hours. And she was like, I can't give nobody 3 hours right now. Like, I'm just doing spot shots on SNL. Like I can't really do that.
Brilliant, by the way.
It was brilliant. It was also against the rules.
What?
Yeah, the FCC says there has to be like an equal time for candidates, and that was actually against the rules.
Well,
It was against the, it
well,
was funny. It was funny.
listen.
I'm not knocking it.
Everything the other side has done has been against the rules. So if she want to do one little spot on Saturday Night Live, shut up. Because honestly, it's
Shut up. Just
shut
shut
up.
up.
Just shut up. Like seriously, you're holding her to a standard
Mm,
that you're not holding the other candidate to. I
right.
mean, listen. They've been doing that the entire time, right? They've been holding her to a high standard that they do not have for Trump. Here's why it's the wrong person to do that for. She is a Black woman in America. We are used to being held at a higher standard and still getting half as far. So this is all news to, like, it's not going to faze her. Everything that you're saying, we live in a country that tells us all the time that we're not desirable, not wanted, we don't belong. And we're still out here getting degrees in LLCs and running for office.
Yes.
And we're still out here doing the damn thing. And you want to know why? Because none of that bothers us.
No.
None of that bothers us. If you tell us that we don't belong there, we're going to show you 10 times over why we do. And to me, every time they set the bar or move the goalpost or whatever for her, she meets it and exceeds it every time. So about this SNL thing, I don't care.
It was funny.
It was funny. It was great. Keep Kamala. What is it? Keep Kamala and carry on something like whatever that little catchphrase. I loved it. I thought the sketch was funny, and I love Maya Rudolph, and I don't care.
Yeah.
As much as Trump supporters don't care about his 34 felonies or his sexual assault convictions and all of that, as much as they don't care, I don't care about that.
Well, he didn't have any sexual assault convictions. He was liable of sexual assault civilly.
We found guilty.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah,
of a civil, whatever. The point is,
I just want to be like correct. We halfway journalists, halfway,
and I get it. Even that discrepancy, I don't care about.
Okay. All right. What do you feel about the gulf that Joey Beans had when he kind of hinted that Trump voters are trash, and then the next thing you know, you got Trump got the Make America Great Trump garbage truck.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that stutter step that he had on that first step.
How you miss the handle twice? If he had fallen over, I would still be cackling to this day. I would still be cackling to this day because it was already funny enough when he kept missing it and then couldn't quite get out the blocks of gum on his shoe or something. Like
people be forgetting, dude is 78 years old. Dude is old.
Let's round it up. He's 80.
Let's not do that. Let's
once again,
we gonna do that. Halfway journalists.
Well, I said we rounding up. I said it. Round up. 80. One, that's not what Joe Biden said. I think everybody knows that's not what he said. He wasn't calling anybody garbage. He was calling the only garbage was that rhetoric.
Yes.
Right. Also something I don't care about because you gotta be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. I have never seen hypocrisy that deep.
Right.
A man got in front of a crowd at Madison Square Garden and called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You call American citizens and your opponent trash, scum, garbage, idiot, mentally disabled, all the things. You've got to be kidding. Please be for real. Please be so serious. And then when I saw the garbage truck, I'm going to be honest, I didn't take it as a dig on Biden's comments. It felt to me like a double down of Tony Hinchcliffe's comments
Mm.
that he's going to take out the garbage. It felt to me like a double down of that. So to me, the photo op didn't work. And it also he looked dumb.
He did.
He looked dumb. He looked like he couldn't grab a car door, and he's used to doors being open for him. So when's the last time that he's grabbed the car door? Honestly?
And that step.
That's not a step.
He hit the stutter step and missed the step and the handle all at the same time. He was close. He was close to the fall over. And I think only his pride kept him in the air.
Yeah.
He had the glow in that moment.
Yeah.
It was the red glow, not the yellow glow.
No.
But he had the red glow in that moment to not fall because his pride wouldn't let him. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the glow is from Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
Yes.
Just Google it. You'll understand it.
Yeah. And then the photo op went on for just him driving around this tarmac, circling it in this garbage truck for a photo op. It looked dumb. And I'm like, here's the thing. The election's in less than a week. This is how you're spending your time? This is how you're spending your time. The rally at Madison Square Garden, the garbage truck stunt. These are how you're spending the last few days before the election. No kind of like outreach to try. No, because he only cares about that percentage of people that are supporting him.
Yep.
Even though they're leaving his rallies early.
I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I don't really care. But speaking of rallies, I just want to touch on this one last thing, and then I'll let you hit on whatever final points in the election that you want to talk about. Over 75,000 people.
Yes.
In Washington, D.C. came to see her speak on Tuesday. I had to work, so I couldn't go there because I wanted to go, but I had to work. I couldn't go. But I watched the speech, and yet again, damn if she don't look presidential as hell.
Yeah. I mean, the most qualified candidate ever. She has worked in state, local, and federal government.
I think there's been a
No. Listen, state, local, federal government.
Mm-hmm.
She has been in the judicial, legislative, and executive branch.
Well, you're right.
There are very few people, I can't think of any off the top of my head, that have that level of, and people forget this. And at one point during Biden's presidency, he went for colonoscopy because he was put under for 85 minutes. She was president of the United States.
I mean, that don't count.
So she has already had the job. Okay.
I mean, it don't count.
It does count. She's already been president for 85 minutes.
Well, it was a risk because putting his whole ass under, like they couldn't have done it no other way.
No, they put you under for that. They obviously ran a battery of tests before they put anybody under anesthesia. They should. So,
hopefully.
And it's Walter Reed, and he's the president of the United States. They're going to take every single precaution, including swearing in the vice president to be president while the current president is unconscious. I can't think of a single president or presidential nominee who has that much experience in every level of government, in every facet of government. There is only one choice, y'all. It's so clear that it's almost like when you see a bird fly into a really well-cleaned window, you can't help but hit the point. The point is, there's only one qualified candidate in this race.
Yeah, we'll see. You know me. I don't ever get my hopes up.
Yeah, I know.
I don't never get, every time I hear her speak, I'm like, man, it really would be nice. But these Trump supporters going to do Trump things. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch on as far as the election is concerned? Because this is the last segment that we're going to talk about it before everybody vote. And then after everybody vote, we only going to talk about who won.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk about no more politics for a while. I'm going to be real honest.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It's going to be a lot of interviews for y'all coming up because I'm done with this.
Right.
It is taken. That's the reason why I'm cutting off people from texting me, or they being neurotic. But still, my anxiety is through the roof because of all that's going on. I'm in Washington, D.C., y'all. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
But you got anything that you want to touch on before we top off this topic?
Yeah. JD, baby, what's a normal gay guy?
Yeah.
What's that?
He said,
what's a normal gay guy?
So for everybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, on Joe Rogan's show, he argued that he wouldn't be surprised if Trump won the normal gay guy vote because, again, they just want to be left the hell alone. And I just, honestly, I don't know what that means.
I don't know, and neither do gay men. I have seen so many Instagrams, TikToks, Twitter videos, and they're all asking, what's a normal gay guy? What's a normal one? And then second question, what's an abnormal one? Who exactly are you talking about?
Like, that interview with Joe Rogan was not good for him because Joe,
it wasn't good for Trump. Back. I don't know why they sent someone, especially someone as stupid as JD Vance.
I think
who has a perpetual foot in his mouth.
Joe Rogan is a comedian and he's actually funny. I don't particularly care for his podcast majority of the time. I think he has a bigger platform. He has a responsibility. You want to give all points of view, cool, but give all points of view, and he doesn't do that all the time.
Yeah.
But as a comedian, he's always been funny. I remember watching him on News Radio. That was a TV show with, it's a lot of comedians. Our boy that was on House Guests that got killed, Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman was on that. I remember seeing him then. I was like, he's funny.
Yeah.
He's a funny comedian.
Yeah.
But
that's what he is.
But also, this is what people don't get about comedians. Comedians are extremely intelligent. Not intelligent in a way that most people...
They're perceptive.
Yes. People, I keep arguing with people all the time because there's this one person that's kind of in my life a little bit, and they are always saying, well, this person is really intelligent. I'm saying, why? Because they have all these degrees. I was like, they're educated. That's not the marker of intelligence.
Right.
It's because you have a bunch of degrees. I could go to school and get a bunch of degrees.
Yes.
I could have a ton of degrees. Could I get a law degree? Yes, I could get a law degree. I don't think I could become a doctor because I don't like blood. But you know what I'm saying?
Don't love it. Don't like it at all.
Like, people can have a lot of degrees. Comedians are extremely intelligent, especially about humans and human nature. That's the reason why they're able to make things funny. And they're going into these interviews thinking that this is just a comedian and it's just going to be a free-flowing conversation. And he pushes back on some of the dumb stuff that they say.
Yes.
And he is like, well, can you explain that to me? Because that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
And he questioned JD Vance about abortion. And JD Vance did not have a good response to come back on that.
Because they don't actually care about the issue.
No, they don't.
And they've proven that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
That they don't actually care about the issue. It's just like immigration, just like tariffs and the economy. They're just talking points to them. They don't care about any of this. They only care about the accumulation of power. That's literally the only thing that they care about. They do not care about any of these issues. And that's why they can't make a cogent argument for any of it.
When you're listening to this, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you've already voted. We're voting for democracy. You may think that, oh, this is just being hyperbolic and then these things aren't really that serious. No, they absolutely are.
Yeah.
We have to defeat this rise of fascism, because if we don't, it's going to defeat us.
Yes.
So just keep that aware. And Jay, you got any parting shots?
Yeah, I do. So you said this, and it's absolutely true that we are voting for democracy, but beyond that, and again, this is not us being hyperbolic. This is just the reality. We're voting for the soul of the nation. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was excited about President Barack Obama when he first ran. I was excited But I didn't think that the world would end if he lost. I didn't think that our country would be in true peril. The world ending, that was being hyperbolic, but that our country would be in true peril if he lost. But the way that the Supreme Court is set up currently, and just the things that Trump has said out of his mouth, you don't need to, if you don't believe in the woke leftist media or whatever, just listen to the things that he says out of his mouth and take him at his word. The way that our judicial system is set up right now, if he becomes president, we've already lost affirmative action and reproductive freedom. There's so much more that they can take. There's so much more that they can make a case for not needing the Civil Rights Act anymore. They can make a case for Brown versus the Board of Education, and that maybe separate but equal is the law of the land, or it should be, right? They can make a case for these things. They've made a case for why we didn't need affirmative action anymore. And what are we seeing now? That the enrollment rates or the acceptance rates for Asian students have plummeted. You thought Roe v. Wade was the law of the land, and every last one of those justices sat up there and they said the same thing, that Roe v. Wade is the law of the land, and then they repealed it. If you think that a second Trump presidency is not perilous for this country, you're not paying attention. And I understand that it's election day today. If you have not gone out to vote and my voice is like the last thing you hear while you're on your way to, listen to what I'm saying to you today. If you care about this country, if you love this country, if you love the people in this country, if you think our children deserve a future where they're safe in schools and they don't have to worry about climate change and they can eat and have roofs over their head and health insurance, if you care about people like you say you do, then you need to get out there and vote. You need to vote your conscience, because there is only one candidate. There's only one. It's not that hard to pick who it is. There's only one viable candidate. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right, Jay. What is this that you want to talk about Meg Thee Stallion?
I don't know if you clearly have not listened to Act 2.
No, I don't think I heard. She just dropped a new album.
Just dropped a new album.
Okay.
And when I hit play, a Louboutin stiletto stepped on my neck.
Okay. Okay.
And ground the heel into my neck, and I said, "More, please." There's not one skip.
You saying it's a classic album?
There's not one skip. And it starts off so Houston. It starts off, it's just, the girl can rap. The girl can rap. And I don't ever want her to take her foot off my neck. I almost lost my mind. I'm getting goosebumps now. That Act 2 is better than Act 1. Like, Megan gave us a banger for the winter time. It ain't even, I hope it makes it to the summer, because I still want to listen to it in spring or summer.
How many songs she got with Glow on there?
There is one song with Glow. That's not even the banger, though. It's the one with Flo Milli that I just love. But, like, man, she and Beyonce are really making me believe everything's bigger in Texas. And now I've been to Houston. It was all right.
I actually really like Houston.
Well, because I live in Atlanta, Houston, Atlanta, to me, very similar.
Okay.
So I was just like, okay, I get it. But I think coming from another place and going to Houston, like you said, you're going to have a ball. Because you'll come to Atlanta, you'll have a ball. Like, it'll be the same kind of vibe. But I did have fun in Houston. Yeah, I probably would never move to Texas. Because honestly, it's just too damn big.
And hot.
It's hot and it's big.
Yeah.
You can't go nowhere. Like, you can't just be like, let me just jet over to Austin real quick for some barbecue. Like, you can't. Like, you have to fly. Like, it's too damn big.
Well, then you literally have to jet.
Yeah, you literally have to jet.
Yeah.
But top tier album. If you haven't listened to it, just put it on. Just put it on one day. Okay. And you're going to be like, wait, I ain't skipped yet. I ain't skipped a single song. And out the gate, she just puts that foot right on you. And I said, please always keep this foot on my neck. And everybody knows my trifecta right now, and it has been for a long time, Cardi B, who also delivered a very impassioned speech on behalf of Kamala Harris. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla.
That's it. If they could just do a whole album together.
Yeah. We got a song. We
have multiple songs.
With all three of them.
Do we have multiple songs with all three?
Yeah, there was a remix. There was a remix to, oh my God, that banger, the Megan Glorilla banger, and Cardi dropped a verse onto it. So we do have a song with all of them.
Okay.
But I need more.
Yeah, I need
more. I also am a fan of Dolce and Flo Milli, so I need some features with them on there. I need more. And shout out to, honestly, I never thought these words would come out of my mouth, but Sexy Red, voting for Kamala, for Kamala, and making sure we know,
Okay.
All right.
Because she was for Trump for the longest, and then she switched it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it.
Let's get a little self-absorbed before we get off of the show.
Okay.
And you said something in the first segment is that you can see the switch in my eye.
Yes.
Where I become annoyed.
Yes.
Do you have any instances? Do you have any situations where you're like, oh, here it goes?
You for how you look, which even to this day I still don't understand this. You have complexes about your body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which a lot of people have that, like a lot of people deal with that. I'm dealing with it now for the first time in my life. Because whenever I walk into a room, like all of the comments are about my body. So I'm dealing with it now, but like particularly your posterior. So when people make jokes, for instance, about the tightness of your shorts or pants, you're joking with them for a little bit, and then a switch flips where you're like, this isn't funny anymore. And it's just like, you still have this smirk, but it's not touching your eyes at all. And you actually have light brown eyes, but they go dark. They kind of start to darken. And the smile does not reach your eyes, and I'm like, whoop, he's annoyed. The jokes have gone, they've hit the threshold of what you could take. And now I see that switch, and you still trying to smile along, but the smile is not touching your eye. And then you'll come back with a joke, but it'll have a tinge of maliciousness in it.
I think I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about.
You should know exactly what you're talking about.
There are people that are listening to the show. This is about them, so we can't talk specifics, but I know it happened recently.
Yes.
It happened very recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are times where you'll be joking along, and then the jokes hit that pressure point,
Right.
Where you're just like, all right, enough of these damn jokes. But it's just in your eyes and in your demeanor. Like, you can't hide when you're annoyed. I don't believe that you can. I don't think you know that your demeanor is showing that you're annoyed, because you can't see yourself. But as somebody watching you, I'm like, daggone, they're gonna switch. They done joke too long.
I dated a girl, and we took a trip together. A woman, excuse me. I dated a woman, and we took a trip together, and our flights kept getting delayed. Going to the place, coming from the place, flights kept getting delayed. And she said, she's like, I know you're annoyed. You didn't blow up, but I know you're annoyed because all you did was sit there and you took a really deep breath. And I was like, I did. She's like, that's your tell. Because you took both this. Every time you got annoyed, you took a really deep breath. And I could tell that everything inside of you, you were trying to control everything inside of you not to lose it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't realize I do that.
There's a ball of lava in the center of your chest that you are trying to keep contained. Because if it erupts.
I haven't, that's the scary thing. I haven't erupted in so long.
Yeah, it's been decades for me.
I'm scared to erupt. But speaking of my large posterior, I was out with one of my homegirls last night getting drunk. That's the reason why I was a little haggard again this morning. I need to stop doing that. I'm getting too old. But we went out to this bar, and the bar had like an artist. This is a restaurant, and they typically do like art shows. Yeah. And it had this artist, and they were a doodler. That's what they said, doodler, whatever. Yeah. So the artist came up to us because we were sitting at the bar and said, hey, I drew this. I got a picture. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to put it in a group chat.
I have to see it.
Yeah. And I sent it to my bestie earlier today, and she was like, oh, I really like that. And I see they got the caboose. And I was just like, yeah, it's really clear that she drew my big posterior
in the doodle.
In the picture. Yeah. And I was like, was it looking like that? Because she drew me from the back.
Yeah.
And it's just like
a big
booty
old ass.
hanging out.
A big old ass. Yeah.
I sent you a meme earlier. We're going to end up on this. I sent you a meme earlier, and it was the realization of when we become our parents. And he was like, yep, I realize I'm dad every day. And I've been telling you that for years. I was like, there go dad. Every time you say something like, there go dad. Yeah. And then he was like, I say this one saying that dad says all the time. And he was like,
don't make no damn sense. I'll be in line and they're just, it's just a customer and the checkout person having just a nice, polite chat. But I want to get my items and go. And so I can't help but under my breath, give a deep sigh and say, this don't make no damn sense. And every time I say it, I'm like, I'm turning into my parents. I'm turning into my parents. But you know what? The older I get, the more I see that they're right. Because it don't make no damn sense.
It don't make no sense.
I got things to do. Why are y'all having a conversation? Oh, one time I was at the grocery store and they were talking about something that was on sale. And when the checkout person left the register to go grab one of the little Sunday paper thing, the little coupon book, and was looking through it with them. Oh, this on sale. This on, not looking for a particular item.
No, I would lose.
But just seeing what's on sale, I'm like, this don't make no damn sense. And then I can't hide on my face my disgust with this very polite conversation that's happening in front of me. Because it's the disregard for my time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look behind you. There's a line. It consists of just me, but that's not the point. There's somebody here. Y'all are not alone.
Right.
It's a business. The hell is going on?
I know I'm growing more and more like dad because my filter is almost all gone. Yeah. Somebody was telling me a story a couple of days ago. And I looked them dead in the eye and I said, hey, you're going to have to get to the point and wrap this up because I'm starting to lose interest.
And it's just about, I just realized like our parents were busy.
Yeah.
They were working. Sometimes they were in school.
Yep.
They got kids, a home, like they were busy.
And bad kids too.
They
Bad
don't
kids.
have time to
No.
listen to some long drawn out story
Mm-mm.
about, and I notice I'm becoming a lot more like our mom because I'm loud in situations where I shouldn't be loud. I see a teenager outside with no coat on, and I'm like, now where is their damn coat?
Mom almost got us killed in Jamaica.
I almost got into a fight one time I took her to the beach, and she was talking about the length of somebody's skirt, and I'm like, Ma, I think it was like Labor Day weekend. I was like, if I get arrested for fighting them, I'm not getting out till Monday, maybe Tuesday, because it's a holiday weekend. Like, you can't do this to me. You got to be quiet. You're speaking loudly. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. But I noticed like I'm doing that now. Like I'm loud.
Lord.
And then my friends would be like, John, but damn. Quiet. Oh, what the hell I got to be quiet for? I said what I said. I'm standing on business. No. Every tree in the forest will move before I do. I'm standing on business, and I said what I said.
Oh man.
So yeah. But I'm just finding that as I get older, they were right.
Okay, mom and dad was right sometimes.
They were right.
But we becoming them, and I see it every day. What do you want to tell the people out there, Jay?
It's okay if you want to check out today. Like after you do your civic duty, if you haven't done it already, I'm checking out. It's okay if you want to check out today. It's okay if you don't have capacity for the up and down, because as we know, red states, a majority of our states are red, and those will come in quickly, and those will be established quickly. And really what we're waiting on are these toss-up states or swing states for those tallies and stuff to come in. But the map is going to turn red really quickly, and it's going to mess with your head, and it's okay if you want to check out. It's okay.
I'm checking out.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
Same.
All right, ain't nobody going to see or hear from me. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Whew, that was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock with will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspectives.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you're really feeling generous and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. The cycle stays the